the best of the week on Relevant Radio.
Well, today we're focusing our discussion on finding peace. Joining us as our spiritual director today is Father Timothy Gallagher. Father Gallagher is a priest with the Oblates of Mary, dedicated to giving retreats and spiritual formation in the light of St. Ignatius and his spiritual exercises. He's the author of nearly a dozen books on discernment and prayer, as well as on Venerable Bruno Lanteri, the founder of his order. Father Gallagher, it's great to have you back with us. Thanks for joining us.
Always happy to be here, Patrick.
Let's take a phone call from Carol calling in from Wisconsin. Hello, Carol, and welcome.
I'm just wondering, okay, as a mom, I have 4 children, and 3 of them have gone astray. One of them I'm very concerned about. She lives in a part of town that I'm not, it's not the greatest part of town, and she's doing things that would concern any mother, and I'm worried about her future. I'm worried about my children's future. So I'm not so much worried about God forgiving me or them, I guess, but I'm worried about their salvation. And I'm sure there's a lot of moms out there feeling that like that. And in regards to what's happening in our country right now, it's creating a lot of anxiety. And I guess I want to know more from that point of view, how to have peace.
Sure. So I'd say, Carol, first of all, thank you for the question. And without doubt, that's going to reflect the question of many other parents as well. And I'd say the answer to that, and not that we're going to lift all the suffering from this for sure, but we can really live it in a different way. And there's something that we can do, and above all, there's something that God is doing. Maybe I'll start with what God is surely doing in the hearts of your children. I'm going to take this from St. Ignatius of Loyola, who says that when a person is living far from God, the way that God acts is to trouble the heart of the person. He calls it stinging and biting through their rational power of moral judgment. That is, you can be very sure that deep in the heart of anyone who is living far from God, however we try to hide from it, run from it, it's inescapable that there is somewhere deep down where we're not happy, where we know that things aren't right, where we want more from life. And that's I would call that God's loving assault on the heart. So you can be very sure that God has not abandoned your children, that he is constantly working in their hearts. And when the day comes that they open their heart to that troubling action of the Lord, St. Augustine famously called that restlessness. Our hearts are restless until they rest in you. The day that they open their hearts to that, then things are going to begin to change in their life. So that's number one, that God loves your children too much ever to stop working in their hearts. And every day with his love is making a loving assault upon their hearts. And then what can the parent do? And my own sense of this is that there are 3 things that the parent can do. Very basically, always, unhesitatingly, and without interruption, be a loving parent to that child. Let them know, and you can find discreet ways of doing this that will be understood and accepted. Let them know that whenever they approach the parent, all that they're going to encounter there is love and welcome and acceptance. Then the next thing would be to give the example, in our lives as parents of the difference that our faith makes. So as our children see us go through difficult times or just go through the many ups and downs and joys and sorrows of life, they see the difference that it makes in our lives, that we have a living relationship with the Lord. And then the third thing would be ceaseless prayer. Just never stop praying for them. And all of us immediately think of St. Monica. But we have a promise from the Lord, ask and you will receive. Whatever you ask in my name, I will do. In God's own way, in God's own time, but never stop praying for them. And I think if we're doing those things, we're doing the most loving, helpful thing that we can do for our children.
Okay. Thank you.
Is that helpful, Carol?
Yeah, it is. All of those, yes. Check, check, and check.
This entire episode of The Inner Life is on the Relevant Radio app. The Relevant Radio app is completely free and updated daily with fresh articles, podcasts, and prayers. Don't delay. Download the app today. And thanks for listening.